Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Bostrom b.Cast. These are conversations, getting insights, and learning how to navigate the crazy world of association management these days. And today I welcome Annie Bournas. She is a new meeting associate at Bostrom. And Annie, the first thing I wanted to kind of dive into was you were going through school, going through internships, all during COVID, where everything was virtual and remote. What was that like?
It was really hard, I mean, just being a college kid, trying to figure it all out. Like, I feel like everyone has this expectation that at 19, 20, you know what you want to do with your life. So, I mean, and everything's about having experiences in real life and just like being able to have them in person. So it was really hard kind of maneuvering my way through college, and then especially having everything virtual, online classes, internships. Like you say it was online basically for the last like couple of years. So starting at Bostrom was really just like jumping into everything, being back in person. Felt like home, honestly, being able to have in-person interactions and just being able to even stop by, grab coffee with colleagues, just anything.
Yeah. How did you connect with friends during college? Those years?
Luckily, my first year, it was not COVID year yet, so I was able to make some friends through that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So then my sophomore and junior year, I kind of just kept in touch with them, and then
and then you were interviewing for internships and for this remote, right? Virtual interviews. That's odd too, because in-person communication is the most effective way to communicate with somebody, and not seeing all those cues during an interview.
Absolutely.
Would be challenging.
Yeah,
for sure.
Even in college, my major being communications, I mean, it's like, how do you maneuver your way through a pandemic when everything you do is kind of all about in-person interactions, making connections, meeting people?
Right. Oh my gosh. So you joined Bostrom this year, meeting associate, as we were kind of coming out of the pandemic, going from virtual meetings and education into in-person, a little bit of a crazy time. So what was that, how did the experience of learning a new job, virtual and then in person, what was that experience like?
It was kind of interesting, like it's kind of, every time you start a new job, it's kind of hard to maneuver your way, kind of see how every company works differently, and just like really diving in, feet first, just like diving into everything and trying to learn as much as possible. But I mean, like I said, I love being in person. I think that really has helped a lot. And even having like Zoom interactions with people in different states, like the DC office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even with that, I mean, like, I guess in a sense, COVID kind of did help with like being able to use Zoom, being able to communicate and learn through Zoom, especially like through college.
Yeah.
But starting at Bostrom, I mean, it's been incredible. And like going to conferences, like I've already been to my first conference, and it was so interesting and such an amazing experience getting to meet the entire team in person.
Yes. Yeah. Because you were kind of thrown into it. I mean, there was a lot going on, and we were just building a team and growing the business, so it was a crazy time. But you recently did your first conference, Legal Value Network, here in Chicago. And, that had to have been enlightening, just to be able to meet those volunteers that you work with and leaders of the LVN and, all the people attending that you work so hard on the logistics to get to that.
Yeah,
to that point.
It's amazing just going in person and being able to see the final product and all come together, and everything from like the littlest tiny little things that you've done throughout like the preparation, just to see it all come together.
Yeah.
And just like working with the team, being able to be on site was huge.
Yeah.
And like meeting obviously the Legal Value Network and the people that work for that. And just like being able to just see the whole thing come together and even working with the vendors, like the smallest little things, working with the hotel. Everything coming together was honestly such a amazing experience, and really I feel like has helped me formed my career better for my next conference, and just to keep getting better each conference.
Yeah, you learn a lot. You learn a lot just by doing it, for sure.
Yeah.
So what led you to meeting planning, to that part of association management? What is it about meetings that, that you like to do?
When I first graduated college, I actually went into recruiting. So that was my first job out of college. And with recruiting, as I was hiring new people, we also did like events. All like the new hire orientations, and like down to like the nitty gritty of like networking events, just like outings for the company and stuff. And I actually was in charge of planning all that, and realized I was a year at that company. Throughout that year, I realized I was kind of leaning towards more of the events and planning, and kind of just like that aspect of everything, as opposed to the overall like recruiting aspect. So I thought that I was like this is something I definitely want to have my career in, is more driven towards meeting planning and more towards like conferences, I believe, and just
Yeah.
like being able to like really be on site, go to with awesome events, meet awesome
Yeah.
people. I think that was what really drove me
Yeah.
to make that jump and that leap into this amazing, amazing company.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I mean, our clients are anything from building and construction to biometrics to sexuality educators, counselors, and therapists. I mean, the variety of clients we have here, is very broad, which I would think makes meeting planning a little bit more fun because there's all different kinds of events, whether it's a trade show or a board dinner or a retreat, a leadership retreat, things like that.
I think that's what really honestly attracted me to everything, was just being able to have that variety of different clients and seeing like what people need and how each client works differently, but in a way that it always just like works perfectly.
Yeah.
And they kind of just like are so interesting to work with and amazing people to have as clients as well. Just to like, be able to help out is huge.
Yeah. I know it's kind of nice at the end of the day that we're a professional services firm, but our clients are all purpose-driven organizations. And, so you feel like the work that you're doing to help them, to make their volunteer experience impactful, is having this other greater good, this social impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like all these companies, while they're all very alike but different, I feel like they all align with Bostrom's kind of like personnel and just like how we're driven.
Yeah.
So I think that is also like a huge impact.
Yeah, that's a great insight, because I think we are really careful about the associations that we partner with to ensure that it fits with our culture, our values, and that we can have an impact with what they're trying to do and have a passion for it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. So we talked about your first conference. We talked about, meeting planning, and how do you, with all of these different clients and different meetings, how do you stay organized? Like, what's the thing that just keeps all the deadlines and timelines in check? And
really just having an agenda or like a to-do list, just making sure that any smallest things, even if someone slacks me just with the smallest thing, writing it down and making sure that it gets done.
That is so fun. We've grown our team to I think there's 9 people in our meetings department right now. And I ask that question across the board at every interview, and they all say, well, pen and paper first. I make a list. They list everything. And we've got these great tools. There's a ton of AI tools. There's Monday.com that we use, for the broad-based project management, but everybody across the board says a list.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like once it's written down, I feel like that has always helped me learn and make sure that it gets done.
Yeah.
And nothing's more sasatisfying than just crossing it off.
A little cross off, yes. I color code my lists too, which really, what's hot, what has to be done, and
I'm going to take that from you. That's a pretty good tip.
It's kind of fun. It's pretty. It makes your notebook pretty. So, okay, so we have come to the time of the podcast where we do a rapid fire Q&A.
All right.
So I'm just going to ask you questions. Just the first thing that comes to your mind, just answer. Okay. So, what is your current state of mind?
What do you mean by state of mind?
Just where you're at. Happy, excited, anxious, optimistic.
I would say optimistic.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay. I like that one. I like that. What do you most value in your colleagues here at Bostrom?
Friendship.
Oh, I like that.
Like everyone here's super friendly. It's like I could ask anybody a question.
Yeah. What characteristic makes you well suited for working with associations?
Understanding.
Ooh, I like that too. What is your favorite mobile app?
Oh, Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yep. Who's your favorite client at Bostrom?
Favorite client, I would say, as of right now, maybe Akua.
Ooh. College and university auditors. Okay. I like that. Which talent would you most like to have?
Talent. Specify talent.
Like anything from cooking, singing,
cooking.
Snowboarding.
Cooking for sure.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite word?
Favorite word? Happy.
Oh,
like I'm just a happy,
like that.
go-lucky person.
Okay, if there's one profession other than the incredible world of association management here at Bostrom, another profession you would like to attempt, what would it be?
To be an astronaut. Completely different.
That would be different. That would be
Oh,
different.
huge. I feel like as a kid, that was like for some reason one of the things I wanted to do.
I love that. Well,
And
now they've got people going up all the time.
that's
so,
what I'm saying. Never say never.
Right along. It could happen for
Maybe
you.
we can get one of our clients. The next one to
Okay,
be.
I'm going to start looking for associations in space travel. Yeah, Civilian Space Travel Association. That's got to be something.
Something out there like that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
volunteer.
Yeah, we've got to volunteer right here. Okay. Elon Musk, did you hear that? Okay, so this wraps up our podcast. Thank you so much for doing this, for taking time out of your crazy day to do this and come on the podcast. And we really appreciate the time and the insights that you've provided. There are a lot of new people coming into the workforce and really looking at what they want to do. And I think you've made association management and meeting planning very exciting. So that's great. Thank you. So this ends episode 3 of b.Cast. And look for us wherever you listen to podcasts for more episodes to come.